Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 14, text number 55. Na hi kramaha chet iha mrutyo janmanoh sharirinam astu tat atmakarmavihi yaha snehapashaha nijasarga vriddhaye swayam kritaha te tam imam vivarchasi. Nahi kramascediha mrityu janmano Nahi kramascediha mrityu janmano Sharirinaamastu tadatmakarmavihi Sharirinaamastu tadatmakarmavihi Yasneha pasho nijasarga vriddhaye Yasneha pasho nijasarga vriddhaye Swayam kritastotamimam vivrikchasi. Word to word meaning. Na, not. He, indeed. Kramaha, chronological order. Chet, if. Iha, in this material world. Mrityu, of death. Janmanoh, and of birth. Sharirinam, of the conditioned soul who have accepted material bodies. Astu, let it be. Tad, that. Atma karma bihi, by the result of one's karma, fruitive activities. Yaha, that which. Sneha pashaha, bondage of affection. Nijasarga, your own creation. Vriddhaye, to increase. Swayam, personally. Kritaha, made. Te, by you. Tam, that. Imam, this. Richasi, you are cutting. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti-Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. My Lord, you may say that there is no law that a father must die in the lifetime of his son and that a son must be born in the lifetime of his father, since everyone lives and dies according to his own fruitive activity. However, if fruitive activity is so strong and that birth and death depends on it, there is no need of a controller or guard. Again, if you say that the controller is needed because the material energy does not have the power to act, one may answer that if the bond of affection you have created are disturbed by fruitive actions, no one will raise children with affection. Instead, everyone will cruelly neglect his children. Since you have cut the bonds of affection that compel a parent to raise his child, you appear inexperienced and unintelligent. Purport. As stated in the Brahma Samhita, karmani nirdhati kintu cha bhakti bhajam. One who has taken to Krishna consciousness, devotional service, is not affected by the results of karma. In this verse, karma has been stressed on the basis of karma mimamsa philosophy, which says that one must act according to his karma and that as supreme controller must give the result of karma. The subtle laws of karma, which are controlled by the Supreme, cannot be understood by ordinary conditioned souls. Therefore, Krishna says that one who can understand him and how he is acting, controlling everything by subtle laws, immediately becomes freed by his grace. This is a statement of Brahma Samhita. Karmani nirdahati kintu cha bhakti bhajam. One should take devotional service without reservations and surrender everything to the supreme will of the Lord. That will make one happy in this life and next. Om Ajnat Virandasya Gananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamaiham Dadati Svadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Udapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanmitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Dalita Shivishakaanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna. Now the context is Chitraketu's wife, after losing her child, is lamenting. Lamentation is the basis of material existence. Every object, when you get, there is lamentation hidden in it. We all know the story, so I will not go to the story. Once the news came to Chitraketu as well as his wife that the child is dead, they all came running. And Chitraketu actually fainted. Seeing this dead body of the small boy, the wife is cursing the Lord. She has some vague concept of the Supreme Lord. And people in India especially, they have some faith and belief in God. They say some God. But who is that God, they don't know. And basically this kind of thing is because of one philosophy called Karma-Mimamsa philosophy. So Srila Prabhupada talks about this Karma-Mimamsa philosophy. That means those who are religious, pious people, they are actually atheists in the garb of being Krishna conscious, in the garb of being God conscious. So this queen is also, she is a pious lady, and that is why sadhus used to come to her house, and instructions were given. They used to beg, they used to do all kinds of rituals so that they can get a kid. Somehow they got a kid. Now this boy left the body because he was poisoned. Now as soon as she comes, the first person whom she blamed for this act of losing the child was God. She, in the previous verse, she criticizes God. We know is Krishna, but she must be not knowing about it. He says, God is Ativa Balishaha. Ativa Balisha means he must be a child. He's not just a child, he is so childish, Ativa, extremely childish. And then she says that another acquisition to the Lord is that Dhruva Paraha, Tvamasti Dhruva Paraha. It is for sure that you are the enemy of your own people. You created us, living entities, and we are all part and parcel of yours. And you created us and you became enemy of us. And there is no doubt about it. It is Dhruva, it is established. Dhruva Paraha, Para means opposite side, you are enemy. So these are the two acquisitions it did. One is you are a Ativa Balishaha. Like Indra also scolded Krishna, saying that Balisham Sabdam Panditam Aninam. Scolding Krishna. Indra is also scolding Krishna. Here she is also saying Ativa Balisha. Why you are childish? Aho vidatastam Ativa Balishaha yasto atma srishti Apratirupam ihese. Say, now you have created this child and the system that a father should have a child, a parent should have a child. Now you have killed. Now you made this system and you have gone against the system. That is what a child does. Child says something and the parents and the child, they have agreement, some kind of agreement. If you study nicely, you will get this thing, something like that, they have agreement. And after 2 days, you will find the child going back against the same agreement. So that is why she is addressing the Lord as Balishaha. And then she says that you are our enemy. Because it is you who gave the same child and you took the same child, and that is the reason I feel that you wanted that we should suffer. What does enemy do? Enemy wants that other person, his enemy, should suffer. So you wanted that we should suffer. That is why you have done this thing. You have done the act of taking away your kid. Now in this verse, she is answering a question which the Lord may ask. The argument which Krishna may do, the Lord may do, saying that, no, I did not do anything. You are scolding me for no reason. You are telling me I am childish. How can I be childish? I have created a wonderful creation. Just see, there are so many people who are happy. So many things are going on so perfectly. I am an intelligent person. I am not a childish person. And not only that, you see, there are so many people getting their food and so many things are there. So many, this body is given, the material nature is given. Do you think I am an enemy? If I had been an enemy, I would have not given all these things. The Lord may argue this. No, I have not done. But this is a system. The system is not that every father, mother should have a child. The system is not that the father should die after the child, should die before the child. That is not the system. The system is karma. So that is the argument which the Lord may give. And she knows that thing. Subconsciously she knows. But anybody who is pious, they know the concept of karma. They know because of some good karmas we are having a good situation. Because of our bad karmas we are suffering. Every pious person knows. Though they have some concept of karma, but they don't have the proper concept of God. Who is that person who is controlling this karma? So she is making an argument that you may say it is according to karma. But just here, nahi kramaschet iha mrutyu janmayoho. In mrutyu janma there is no krama. Krama means there is no chronological order. There is no order that the son should die after the father's death. That means the father should die before the son. And there is no order, there is no rule that every father and mother should get a child. It is not a rule. Generally it happens so that every child when he is born and he grows up and the father dies and the child dies. But there is no rule like that. Because so many times it so happens that the child dies before the father dies. Before the parents die. If you think this is the rule, if you think that I am the creator, you should know that I have created a rule. The rule is karma. The karma is the topmost thing. Nahi kramaschet idha mrityu janmayoho. There is no question of any krama in this. So don't be very much agitated by this thing. Sharinam astu tadatma karma bihi. So these sharinam means who are bound. What they do? Astutad atma karma bihi. Atma karma bihi. According to their own karmas, they sometimes get something, sometimes they lose something. They sometimes get a body and sometimes they die. So now, she says that you may say so. But you have made this karma, if you have made this karma, if you have made a law, you have made karma more powerful than you. That's her argument. This is called karma mimamsa philosophy. These karma mimamsa philosophers, they say that if you have done good, that God has to give you good. If you have done something bad, God has to give you something bad. It is not has to. It generally happens, that doesn't mean he is bound by your karma. This is the first mistake of the karma mimamsa philosophers. They consider karma to be superior to God. And you may say, what is their conception of God? Their conception of God is something called apurva. They bring this term apurva. This apurva is a very interesting thing according to Karma Mimamsa philosophers. It is like a bank account what you have. It is called apurva. It is a self-created God. Though they may worship God, they worship different deities, they chant mantras, they may be building temples and all these things, but their conception of a deity is such a horrible thing that Vyasa, while commenting in the Vedanta Sutras, he says, these people, the Karmamamsis, they are worse than the atheistic Nyaya Vaisheshikas. At least the Sankhyaites, they say there is no God. The Yoga people, they say there is some Paramatma. There is some Paramatma who is just an X factor in the equation of our life. Like you have a mathematics formula. In the mathematics solution, when you solve a problem, what do? You say let x equal to something and you go on solving. In the entire solution you will find x everywhere, but at the end you don't find any x. Isn't it? So their Paramatma or Sankhyaites Paramatma is like the egg factor in a solution. Where, the Patanjali's Paramatma, the Yogi's Paramatma is actually an arbitrary thing. Actually they don't accept it. But now, superior to them, so-called superior to them, they are these Karma-Mimamsa philosophers. These Karma-Mimamsa philosophers, they are more dangerous than the atheists. Actually, Vyasa, he gave a commentary on to Jaimini's Yoga Sutras. The most famous commentary on Jaimini's Yoga Sutra is given by Vyasa. And in that, he glorifies Karma-Mimamsa because they accept a deity. But while doing so, what he has done, he has defeated Nyaya, Vaisheshika, Sankhya and Yoga. And then he writes Vedanta Sutras to defeat the Karma-Mimamsa philosophy by Jaimini. In the 6 systems of philosophy, there is a gradual gradation. There is Nyaya and Vaisheshika, and after Nyaya and Vaisheshika there is Sankhya, and after Sankhya there is Yoga, and there is Purva-Mimamsa, and ultimately Vedanta, which is known as Uttara-Mimamsa. So these 6 systems of philosophy, the Nyaya and Vaisheshika, they accept atoms are the source of everything. And then you have the Sankhyates. They accept material nature to be the source of everything. And the Yogis, they accept the universal consciousness, a self-conceived Paramatma to be the source of everything. And the Karma-Mimamsa philosophers accept that karma is the source of everything. And of course, the Vedantists, both classes, that is Vaishnavas and the Mayavadis, they accept Brahman to be the source of everything, but the conception of Brahman of the Mayavadis is impersonal, and the conception of Brahman of Vaishnavas is that Brahma Shabda Mukhya Artha Kare Bhagavan Shadeshwari Purno Yai Anurdha Saman. So in this way, all the 6 systems of philosophies, they answer one question, the source of everything. What is the source of everything? When they ask this question to the Upanishads, they derived different conclusions. One concluded atoms and the combination of atoms, other concluded Prakriti, other concluded universal consciousness, one concluded karma, one concluded impersonal Brahman, ultimately Vaishnavas concluded Krishna. But ultimately, the question is, what is the source of everything? Like Srila Prabhupada in the beginning, the Bhagavatam, he says, Janmadyasyataha, which is the first verse of Vedanta Sutra, first aphorism. He says, everybody has a natural inquiry where everything came from. When you meet somebody in your house, when they knock the door, you open the door, so you ask, oh, where do you come from? That is natural inquiry. And to the children, there is a rhyme which is taught. Oh, twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder where you are, up above the world sky. I was wondering where you are from. Where did you manifest from? Where did everything come from? This is the natural inquiry in everyone. Even in science, this is natural, where everything came from. They want to find out where everything came from. But they land up into different conclusions, that is the problem. But the non-Vedic philosophers, they inquire into their own mental speculation. Whereas the Vedic philosophers, they inquire into the Upanishads. So when they inquired into Upanishads, they came to know about different sources, where everything came from. So when the Nyaya Vaisheshikas, they inquired, they found atoms are the source of everything. Like sometimes when you ask a child or a small baby, where the milk comes from? For the baby, milk comes from the milk bottle. After some time, when the baby starts walking, he finds the milk comes from the fridge because the mother is taking the milk from the fridge and heating it and giving. And after some time, he is 7, 8 years old. At the time, he sees that his father is going, and then he is getting the milk from the milk van. Oh, the source of the milk is the milk van. And after some time, city-bred children, they are not seeing any cow. So they take an excursion to a village or some place. They find, the milk is coming from the cow. So this is how there is a gradation in the 6 systems of philosophy, where one reaches to the point of understanding that Krishna is the source of everything. So the whole philosophical inquiry is based on one question: where everything comes from. Janma adi yasyataha, from where everything comes from where everything is winded off after destruction, by whom everything is maintained. So that is the whole definition of Brahman. So when in the Taittiriya Upanishad this famous thing comes, where it is described that toya imani bhutani jayanti ena bhutani jayanti yat pralayam abhisham vishanti tat Brahma. This Brahma has to be inquired, tad vijijñāsasvāt. You should inquire into the Brahman, where everything comes from, where after coming from everything is maintained and ultimately everything is destroyed. So in establishing this Brahman, what is this Brahma Pucham Pratishtita, establishing this thing, there are so many different kinds of philosophy which came. Basically they are organized into 6. So there in that particular section in the Upanishads, Taittiriya Upanishad, the Brahma Pucham, it is established that Annamaya, Pranamaya, Jnanamaya, Vijnanamaya, Anandamaya. So these 5 states of consciousness, from these 5 states of consciousness, different philosophies come out. The first 3 states of consciousness are material, and the last 2 states of consciousness, that is Vijnanamaya and Anandamaya Brahman, these 2 states of consciousness are spiritual, but the others are all material. And now the 6 systems of philosophy, Nyaya, Vaisheshika, Sankhya, Yoga, even Purva Mimamsa, which is actually considered to be Karma Kanda philosophy, that is also coming from the material state of consciousness. It is not coming from the transcendental state of consciousness. It is especially coming from the pranamaya state of consciousness, where prana or some emotional dealings with people, that is considered to be topmost. Like these days, the modern karma kanda is being established like this. Whenever you are called for some high society people who are interested in spirituality, like many years back, it was a fashion in India to wear you smoke and drink and all. Now these days, the fashion is, a few years back, the fashion in the high society was, I'm vegetarian, I'm sattva these days. Now these days the fashion is, I know this in Bombay, the fashion is, if you want to call yourself in a high society, I'm spiritual these days. I'm spiritual these days. And what is that spirituality? Just be good. Just be nice. Have a nice place. And you have a nice emotional interaction between each other, be nice with each other, that is spiritual. So that comes from the pramaya state of consciousness, which is nothing but the modern version of karma kanda, where emotions or material desires, which are nothing but the interaction of emotions between people, that is the topmost priority for them, that is God. So to achieve that, what they do, they use God for it. Using God for our material sense enjoyment, that is karma kanda. Like if you want to define karma kanda, where a Brahmin is doing fire sacrifice, swaha, swaha is doing, and reciting all the mantras. This karma kanda, actually karma kanda, of course, we also accept as Vaishnavas, because grahastha need to do some karma. But that is the Vaishnava way of doing this thing. But the karma kanda philosophy is, it is described by Krishna also in the Bhagavad-Gita, where he says, Kama atmana sargapara janma karma phalaprada kriya vishesha bahula bhoishwari gatim prati nanyad asti iti vadinaha. They argue. What is their argument? Kama atmanaha. The purpose of life is to enjoy. Sargapara. If you are frustrated with the enjoyment in this world, go to heaven and enjoy. Kriya vishesha bahula. The whole purpose of life is to do special kriyas, kamya karma. So this is the philosophy of the karma kandas. Just enjoy. If you want to really put them in a layman's words, who are these karma kandas? Because they are doing fire sacrifice, they are chanting Vedic mantras. These Vedic mantras, they are killing the animals and all. It is nothing but a Vedic sense enjoyment, that's all. There are two kinds of sense enjoyment. One is Vedic, other is non-Vedic. Karmakanda means the Vedic sense enjoyment. Actually, the greatest opponents of the Vaishnava philosophy, they are not the atheists. They are not even the Mayavadis. They are the Karmakandis. The whole purpose of Vyasa writing Brahma Sutras was to defeat Karmakanda philosophy. Why? Why he wrote the way Athado Brahma Jigyasa? For a preliminary understanding, we say Athado Brahma Jigyasa means Atha means since you have got the human form of life, inquire into the absolute. But if you study Govinda Bhashya, there Atha and Atha doesn't mean now, therefore. It doesn't mean you have got a human form of life. Now and therefore, inquire into Brahman means now you have understood that the Karma Mimamsa philosophy results are temporary. So that sutra, Athadu Brahma Jigyasa, is actually answering the defects in the Karma Mimamsa philosophy. And this Karma Mimamsa philosophy, especially Jaimini, he has presented in such a beautiful way that anybody would read it, they would be convinced that the goal of life is enjoyment. Anybody would be convinced. Even the most vipaschita, expert person will be convinced. Because among all the different sutras of all the different six systems of philosophy, the Karma-mimamsa philosophy, the Purva-mimamsa, the sutras is maximum. There are more than 2000 sutras. Vedanta has only 555 sutras. Huge. And hardly many experts are there who can actually explain their sutras. There, in one of the sections, somebody would ask a question to him that, why are you after material enjoyment? It is temporary. Material enjoyment is temporary. But Jaimini is so intelligent that he has proved the material enjoyment is permanent. And you will be shocked to know how he has proved it. He has proved saying that, say, for example, mango. Mango season starts in March, April, ends in June, July maximum. So, if you are interested in mango, how long? It's temporary. Give it up. Then Jaimini says, no, enjoying mango is eternal. Because this summer has gone, but next summer it comes. Now you may say, no, but mango enjoyment has gone. Then he says, no, that enjoyment which you derive from the mango has gone to banana or some pomegranate or some other fruit. So just see, they have proved that material enjoyment is eternal. Of course, there are so many flaws. Vyasa, doesn't agree with that. But you see, the arguments which they put forward, and he goes to the extent of even talking something so horrible, so disgusting. He says that youth is for enjoyment. And now you may say youth is temporary. How long is the youth? Now in the youth you may enjoy, but after some time this body is going to get old. So all your efforts you put to enjoy for enjoyment is all destroyed, is temporary. But they say this youth is eternal. Why? Now this lady or this young man lost the youth. But this person has the youth, but the youth itself is eternal, it has gone to another person. So just see. So they go to such a deep extent of explaining different aspects to establish that how worshipping different forms of the deity for the purpose of getting benedictions and to enjoy, that is what goal of life. Now you may say they are worshipping deities at least. Now Srila Baladev Vidyavachanru goes to such a deep extent in describing their conception about the deity. Their conception about what deity they are worshipping. It may be Krishna, it may be Durga, it may be anybody. What is their conception about the deity? They think this deity is only manifesting because of they chanting mantras. They don't even believe in eternal existence of the deities which they are worshipping. That is why you find there are some people in India who are so pious because not being fixed up in philosophy, they worship deities and do so many vratas and tapasya, you'll be shocked. You'll be shocked to know. Because I come from that background, I know there are some ladies who fast practically all the 5 days for different deities. They do vratas in such a nishtha that will be shocked that, if I am able to get some kind of nishtha which they have in chanting Hare Krishna, I can go back home back to Godhead. They do so many austerities, they do so much tapasya. But when they fail to achieve what they want by worshipping the deities, the same deities they criticize. They scold them. What she is doing here is that. So all this, by the blessings of God, oh, we got our child. Now the child is lost. The same person whom they worshipped became the object of criticism. That is why she is saying that in the previous verse, Ativa Balishaha. And now again she says that you are our enemy. And now in this verse she says that if at all there is karma, and you have made that karma, how did you make that karma more superior to, more powerful than you? Is there no controller for karma or what? What are you doing? Are you wearing bangles? You created karma, and karma is creating disturbance to us. Can't you not control this karma if you are the controller of karma? Yes, Krishna says, yes, I am the controller of karma. But why are you accepting the process of karma? I will become the controller of karma for you when you accept devotion, which controls me. Now, Karma-mimamsa philosophers, they say karma controls the Supreme Lord. But it is not that karma which controls the Supreme Lord. What controls the Supreme Lord is devotion. When somebody understands the glory of devotion, then only his Karma-mimamsa philosophy can be, he can get rid of it. Narada tells Vyasa the glory of devotion. And he says the problem. The problem is jiguptitam karma krite anushashataha swabhava raktasya mahan vitikramaha. Oh Vyasa, you have written so much of karma in the Vedas, Traigunya Vishaya Veda, that itself has become a poison for the people. Because even though you have mentioned spirituality in the Vedas, but nobody will take care of spirituality. Nobody will be bothered about nivaranam janaha. Nobody will be bothered about following the rules and regulations. They will be only bothered about enjoyment. Oh Vyasa, the ignorance of karma kanda in the people is so much. Ignorance is more stronger than your intelligence. So that is why I write a book which is only describing devotion, nothing else. Which is glorifying devotion to such an extent that devotion controls the Supreme Lord. Devotion attracts the Atmaramas. So you write a book which glorifies devotion to the highest extent. Until unless one digests the glory of devotion, the mentality of karma kanda will not go away. So that is why in the purport, Srila Prabhupada talks about karmani nirdhati kintu bhakti bhajan. Twice he quotes this verse. I was just wondering why is he quoting? Because the glory of bhakti is the only thing which can destroy karma. Karma cannot destroy karma, because karma is controlled by Krishna, and Krishna can be controlled not by karma but by devotion. So that is why the glory of devotional service has to be discussed again and again, because the karma kanda tendency is so much embedded in our consciousness of lifetimes after lifetimes. So the greatest enemy is the karma kanda philosophy. Sometimes when Prabhupada writes the karmis and the karma kanda, then actually we think, oh, karmis are somebody else. When we say, oh, Mayavadi is Prabhupada, it's not Mayavadi or somebody else. The person who is reading, he is the person. He is the karmi, or the karmi mentality within us, the karmic mentality within us, and the karma kanda mentality within us, the Mayavad mentality within us. That has to be uprooted. How it can be uprooted? It can be only uprooted by Bhagavatam. It cannot be uprooted by any other scripture. So here, Srila Prabhupada mentions this karma kanda philosophy or Karma-mimamsa philosophy. That is why I spoke about it. And then the second argument which she gives is, Yas neha pasho nija sarga vrittaye. Oh Lord, okay, forget about it. You say karma is superior, whatever it is. You have created this world. And after creating this world, sarga vrittaye, you want to expand the population in this world. And to expand the population in this world, you have created this affection. If there is no affection, how can there be any progress in population? Suppose a young boy doesn't fall in love with a young girl, there will be no child. And if there is no, and even though they have affection, the child is born. If the parents don't have affection for the child, how will the child be nourished? It is the affection which is making the creation. It is affection which is maintaining the creation. It is the same affection which is actually destroying the creation too. So, my dear Lord, if you wanted the sarga, this creation, it has to expand in population, then you have created this affection. And that is a process you have created. It is the affection which makes a person give birth to a child. And if such a thing you have done to me, done to our family, by hearing this in future, my dear Lord, I am telling you, nobody will produce a child. Nobody will produce a child. If they come to know the result of producing children is this, then nobody will produce a child. So you are going against your own creation. Again she is saying, just see, women are also very intelligent, especially when they are angry, no? Then you will see their pravachan will be so strong and so logical, you will be just, it requires, even Brahma cannot analyze their speech. If you ask them to speak some Krishna conscious, somebody they feel shy. But make them angry or upset, non-stop they can speak for hours and hours. And so much of logic will be there. They'll connect what happened 10 years back, 15 years back to now, and how they'll prove. You say women are not logical, but when you upset them, when you're angry, they connect the logic to such an extent, you will be completely flabbergasted about it. Anyhow, she is saying that, oh Lord, you see, you created the creation so that the progeny should happen. Now, because of what you have done to us, in future, no people will be afraid to produce children. Okay, if at all somebody produces children, you know what they will do? They will be afraid to take care of them. They will be afraid even to really nourish them. And if the children are nourished, what is going to happen to the child? It will become a havoc in the society. They become Varna Sankara. So there is a big problem. Creation will not expand. Even if it expands, the creation will be filled with all kinds of people, demonic people, because it is the mother's affection which nourishes the child. All the trouble a person takes to nourish a child is because of the affection which they have. There is a natural affection which the mother has for the child. That natural affection Krishna has created specifically so that there will be, because the child, amount of work which the mother has to do for the child is so much. And she will not be able to do if there is no affection. And now, because of this thing, people will be afraid of raising the children. Because when they raise only, then the affection will be there. They will be away from the child. Swayam kritaste imam richakshaya. Swayam kritaste. The same affection what you created, you have destroyed it, O Lord. This is not good. So Srila Prabhupada says that she has a misconception. It is that karma which controls the Lord. You can scold the Lord, definitely. We know the gopis scold the Lord, Yashoda scolds the Lord. But on the power of devotion, not on the strength of karma. So she has a misconception that karma is bhakti, work is worship. But our system is worship is our only work. So by our devotion, it is the Lord comes under control. When the Lord comes under control, He takes care of our karma. He takes care of our karma. Of course, this subject of how one can destroy karma is a very long subject which is described in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. But karmani nirdahati happens only at the level of prema bhakti. Prarabdhas have to be experienced by a sadhaka also. So many people have this conception that I am chanting now, all my karmas are gone away. No. By sincere chanting, your karmas will come, but you will not be affected by it. But only when you chant, Tainam Galadashudara, at that level, karmas, they are nirdahati. So, the glory of devotion has been described by Srila Prabhupada to establish the fact it is not the karma which can make a person happy, it is devotion which can make a person happy in all conditions of life. That will make one's life happy and in the next. It is not the karma. Karma is miserable now also, while performing also, the result is also miserable. So, glory of devotion has been established in this particular purport. Hare Krishna. Any questions? Yeah. Couple of questions.
Are controlled by Krishna. So why the cause of Bhishma Pitama was not destroyed, only what he occurred before his 100 births back. He was lying on the elbow of the bed in Mahabharata.
Yes, very good. Bhishma Pitama's karmas are not destroyed. See, one thing we should know, Bhishma Pitamaha is from the Vasuloka. And not only that, there is a description of Bhishma Pitamaha being eternal associate of the Lord in the Parthasarathi Loka, where constantly he is having rasa with Krishna. Bhishma is having Veera rasa with Krishna. So when the Lord manifests pastimes, he brings his associate. So when the associates come, he puts them in a condition like this so that the pastime can happen. Like Arjuna getting bewildered. He is actually by the arrangement of Krishna, not because of anything else. This is one first thing has to be understood. Now, even if you consider just Bhishma Pitama as a conditioned soul, now, until unless one attains prema bhakti, nirdhati will not happen. Even after attaining prema bhakti, still the body is there. So body has to continue. So from some prarabdhas will be still there. Because for the body to continue in this world, you will have to have some karma, some prarabdha. Otherwise it will not happen. So it is the will of the Lord by which his associates, especially, this happens. Now, Bhishma himself talks about it. He says, "Oh Lord, I don't know that Pandavas are such a close associates of you, and how come they experience so much of misery?" When Bhishma himself is telling that it is inconceivable to understand how those who are so close to the Lord has to undergo so much of trouble. So who are we? That is why Krishna says that karmano bodhavyam cha karmanast bodhavyam karmano gahana viduhu. These actions, interactions of action, reaction, very, very intricate. Karmana daivanetrena. For that you need to have daivanetra. So these are the two things which you see. One is it is Krishna's plan. Other is why it happens, only Krishna knows. Okay.
So why Krishna he spoke in Govardhan Leela?
Oh, many times Krishna speaks something with an intention that people should not understand his truth. It should be accepted. In the battlefield of Kurukshetra, Krishna told Arjuna, you fight with an intention that he should listen to him. When Ashwatthama was caught and thrown at the feet of Draupadi, and then Draupadi said not to kill Ashwatthama. Yudhishthira told not to kill Ashwatthama. Bhima told, oh, now he's got a chance, kill him. Now Krishna told, kill him. And Arjuna is looking at Yudhishthira and here Krishna. Anyway, he knew Bhima is always excited about killing. So he was looking at Krishna and looking at Yudhishthira. Yudhishthira says, don't kill. Krishna says, kill. But Arjuna used his discretion and did not kill Ashwatthama. Krishna was very happy. Krishna was very happy of Arjuna not listening to him. Because when Krishna told Arjuna to kill, he told with the intention that he should not listen to me. Why? At that time Krishna is testing the dharmanishta. How much dharmanishta Arjuna has. So like that, in the Bhagavad-Gita also, Krishna speaks about karma kanda in 31st to 37th verse, 2nd chapter. But though he speaks about it, he says, this is not the right reason for you to kill. And now in the 2nd chapter itself of the Bhagavad-Gita, in the 26, 27, 28 verse, Krishna speaks about Lokaitika, side Vaibhashika philosophy, Nyaya Vaisheshika and Sankhya. And he also talks about Mayavad, 6 systems of philosophy, not the 6 systems, 6 philosophies, antagonist philosophy says. Then he says, even if you accept the antagonistic philosophies like Nyaya Vaisheshika and Lokaitika, the Buddhists, still you have to fight. But that is not the right reason for him to fight. There Krishna's argument is also like that. Sankhya speaks and all with that mode. Okay. Yeah, last question.
He is also free from karma. I don't understand the relationship.
One who knows Krishna is beyond karma is also namam karmani nimanti name karma spriha iti madbir yobhijanati karmabir nasabadhyate. Krishna speaks this in this particular word. That one who is not born by karma, understanding Krishna is beyond karma. So it is connected to janma karma cha me divyam. Understanding the transcendence of Krishna can only happen when you are infused with devotion. It is not on the intellectual platform to understand Krishna is transcendental. 2-3 modes. It is the devotion, it is bhakti. So this point is explained very, very nicely by Sripad Ramanujacharya. He says that Janma karma cha me divyam yo veti. What is the meaning of veti? Veti means it is not just knowing, like you say, I know I am not this body and spirit soul, but when you feel hungry, it is not just knowing, it is bhakti. So when your heart is infused with bhakti, you see Krishna as transcendental. You accept Krishna as transcendental. So in that way, you go beyond modes of nature. There veti doesn't mean jnana. It means what? Bhakti. So that word veti should be understood very properly. It is not just the jnana. It is bhakti. Okay? So we stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Panchavar Prabhuji. Thank you for giving an opportunity to glorify the Lord.